Good morning everyone, I hope you're having a wicked day. Welcome back to the videos where I think it's part 3 of the Evo build. I think we've spent a good few weekends on this car so far, and I have it booked in for a tune in 2 weeks time. No, it's less than a week. No, it's just a little bit over a week. I have this weekend and next weekend to get this thing all sorted, and we are so close. It's a lot of work, but we are so close, and I'm hoping today we should have the rest of the car done. And I think we should get pretty close to that, pretty close to the first startup on the Haltech ECU. A few things that I've done since the last video. I quickly went through and did some of the wiring, so that way we could get this thing fired up ASAP. And plus the wiring's kind of boring for you guys, but either way, I have run the brand new Raceworks hardwire kit for the new fuel pump, which we're going to be doing that today. I've also got all the wires here ready with the flex fuel sensor loom on there, so that's ready to basically just get plugged straight in. In here, I've got pretty much everything all wired up, ready to go. This right here is the wideband. This right here is the power for my CAN gauge. This right here is the switch, so I can change my Haltech rotary dial, so I can change my tunes on the go. And then I have my CAN harness, just going across to all that good stuff over there. In the back of the car right now, I've run the hardwire kit. And as you guys can see, I've got a cheeky little section down here, which actually looks pretty cool. I have basically, like, the carpet kind of swivels around, but I have so much room down here, so I'm thinking I'm going to mount a relay right there for the fuel pump. And yeah, I have the hardwire and the trigger basically going down through a grommet in the hat right there. And yeah, works super nice. Stoked about that. So I'm hoping today we get the fuel tank back in, and as you guys can see as well, I've just started work doing the fuel hat as well, because we need to do a couple of little posts right there for the fuel tank, and it is super scary because I have to do these absolutely perfectly when they don't work out, and it's not ideal. So I'm making sure that they're all perfect and making sure that I have enough room to do stuff, but I'm very quickly running out of everything. So yeah, there is absolutely no room on this fuel hat whatsoever, and as you guys can see, pretty much every single section of that is all taken up. So probably have to get a different fuel hat in the future if I want to upgrade, but for now, this should be fine. Not only that, but Raceworks also has hooked it up with the last of the parts ready for this car right here. So if we quickly look down into this box right here, I don't know, it's just a thing of beauty. It is amazing. Down here, I'm just gonna quickly lay it all out. Let's do it. It's all gonna be done anyway. Ooh, there we go. This is the last of our parts that we need for the Evo. So this is every single one of my lines and fittings. There you go, it's an olive tool. There we go. And this is what I originally was gonna do with the top hat, but I do not have enough room to do that whatsoever. Maybe in the future, but yes, all of these, it's so beautiful. I must have already used this one. Firewall grommet, yes I did. In here, we have decided that we're going to go with some baller hose. We have some stainless Teflon braid. That is so beautiful. So this is all -6. This is going to be absolutely incredible. So this is actually the first time I'm going to be using stainless Teflon braid. On my first RX-7, I used the regular braid, and then my second RX-7, I used the Teflon braid, Teflon nylon braid, and now I'm using stainless nylon braid. So I've like stepped up in the world. Every single time it's been a little bit harder to make the lines, but should be fine. But I'm going to walk you guys through all of that stuff today. I have a whole heap of tools that Raceworks has supplied, so that way we can make this all nice and easy. But first of all, I really want to get all the electronic work done, and I'll worry about the lines a little bit later. Also, I'm really hoping we can start this car up today. And we currently have a day off, and it's Monday for the King's birthday, I don't know. And I need to make sure that I can wire up this sensor right here. It should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, I have to make sure before I do a startup that right there is getting the right fuel pressure. I have to make sure that I'm getting that base fuel pressure all sorted. Otherwise, I could do a fair bit of damage to the engine if it's getting the wrong fuel pressure and I'm just dumping fuel in there on the first start. So wouldn't be ideal. But yes, I'm gonna make sure that all everything is done today. I also have to run some vac line over to the Haltech as well, which should be pretty straightforward. Just run it from the boost gauge, I think, across. Because it's coming from here, but should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Alrighty guys, so first things first, we've got to work out fuel pump. So before I do any of the fuel system, put the tank back in or anything, we have to work out all the fueling setup. So we're actually going to be upgrading from a 255 to a Raceworks 340 E85 safe pump. I actually got two of these because they are two completely different sizes. This one here is slightly shorter, and that's going to allow us to basically fit that on the Evo rail, or the Evo hanger. The standard hanger on the Evo is extremely small. So as I said before, I was going to put like that massive big bulkhead with the plug. However, I worked out very quickly that there is just no space on the top of this hanger right here. I'm going to have to upgrade to something. I'm sure there's a brand out there that has a different aftermarket hanger. But as you can see, there is no space underneath that once you get the fuel pump in to run anything basically. I've left this here for now, and this is going to be running our fuel level sender, which is this thing right here. I'm gonna take this off right here, and we're gonna be running two bulkheads right here as well, and make sure that that's not going to be hitting the hat. So I've already drilled two holes and it's gonna work, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to upgrade this in the future. So this right here is our new pump. That's gonna be sitting around about there or so. And yeah, it's gonna have to basically attach this to the hanger, and we should be sweet. Cool, so yeah, we're gonna be basically building this fuel pump hanger right here with the new 340, and yeah, should be sick. Let's do it. So I'm very happy that I stopped that time lapse, because that took me 4 hours to get everything sorted. I ended up having a huge issue with the posts and with just the amount of room that this thing has, and all in all I failed a couple of times, but I managed to get something that is absolutely perfect, and here it is. So this is the fuel rail that goes to the fuel pump. So we replaced it with a 340 fuel pump, and mind that little thing, it's like a little earthing thingy. I don't know exactly what it is, but Jamie said to leave it hanging loose, so I am. But yes, we have the positive, we have the negative, and then we have the negative strap on the top of the fuel tank, and then yes, they're the two terminals right there, and then the pass-throughs to the bottom. This isn't complete because I would have liked to do the terminals on the backside there, but all this space over here is literally where the fuel level sender is. So a lot of people, when they do these, like to just get rid of the fuel level sender. I definitely didn't want to do that because I'm going to be road tripping this thing like crazy and taking it to the track. I want to make sure that I'm always sorted. So I put the fuel level sender back on. But yeah, I'm very happy about this. This is looking so nice, and even though that positive thing, it doesn't, even though that negative is touching that, it doesn't really touch positive to negative, so it doesn't really matter too much. The only thing is making sure that positive doesn't touch anything. And we retain the fuel level sender, retain everything, and I'm happy now. I wasn't about an hour ago, but I'm happy now. Alright, in the previous episode you guys would have seen that we built this, which is the setup for the FPR 800. However, now that we're going to be changing this to braided line, we're going to be changing it to 1/8 MPT 2-6 fittings. We also are going to be moving the Siltech sensor off to the side, so that way it keeps it nice and clean. And yeah, so we're going to quickly rebuild this, and it should be fun. And there's no better way to rebuild this than with a fresh set of Raceworks AN tools. So I'm guessing we're most likely going to be using this one right here. And this will stop me from scratching literally every single AN fitting that I've ever touched. Even though my shifter with electrical tape did actually work pretty well. So using all the stuff that I just had supplied from Raceworks down there, which is just insane. So we have an olive tool, which is sick. And then we also have this beautiful billet shifter right here, which they kind of stole my idea for billet AN wrenches. And then also the actual AN wrenches as well made this in just a matter of seconds. I think it took me like maybe 5 minutes to make that. And this is gonna go directly from the lines on the, is going directly from the hard lines to the fuel filter. Looks so sick. Alrighty guys, I'm very sorry I haven't really updated you guys with much, but I have just finished all the lines for the engine and it looks absolutely insane. You guys can see all of the stuff down there, come up here, straight 90 to the Raceworks rail, then we have a 90 shooting off to the FPR, FPR shoots down. I'm so proud of that line right there, it's so sick, and then it comes around and then back down to the return. Everything looks so sick. I'm very happy with it. That's pretty much everything in the engine bay done. The only thing I have to do now is run a single vacuum line towards the ECU, which I completely forgot about. That's nice and easy to do. The other thing we have to do is also extend the wiring for my fuel pressure right there. And basically I just need that to run around to that, so that way I can set my base fuel pressure on the FPR 800, because at the moment it's currently not set, so I can't really run the car until I do that. We have to block this off, so I need another door stop. I need to tidy up some of the vacuum lines around the back there, but it's looking so much nicer, and really stoked about how everything is all running. IAT sensor all finished up. I have to also figure out about the MAC valve wiring, but I'm pretty sure it's following the standard wiring, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah, aside from that, I don't really know. Should be all good. The thing I'm gonna get into is the fuel pump wirings. So I have two of these set aside, positive and negative, and they're gonna be triggering our 4-point relay, which is gonna be sitting just down here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, nice and simple. I have the positive and I'm guessing the black's gonna be the negative. So just going to simply tap that into this right here, which is going to be sitting underneath the car, and then that is going to trigger our relay, which is then going to send this a pure 12 volts straight from the battery, and should be all good. Stoked. And I'm really hoping, I'm running out of daylight pretty quickly, but I really want to get this tank back in and drop the car back on its wheels tonight, but I don't know. I think I'm pushing it. I don't want to push my luck with it, but we'll see how we go. So yeah. Alrighty guys, so the fuel pump is all made up. As you guys can see, everything's looking all good. And yeah, I'm nervous. I've never used these bulkheads before, but I'm pretty confident they're all sorted. So yes, we'll stick it in the car And well, we'll put it in the fuel tank and then we'll put the fuel tank into the car. Let's do it.